obviously a former police officer myself, saw the video, and I was like really kind of taken aback by it. So we had a little bit of a problem because the rest of the show was really current and good, and we didn't want to eliminate it. So we basically had to chop out a 9-minute block that we're going to replace this week because it was really good, and it was 15 seconds. So the problem is the rest of the show was already done, and by the time we could find an open studio, there wasn't a lot of time left until airtime, until my Fox show. So we didn't have time to, write anything or put any elements in. And folks, this story touched me so deeply that I said, they said, can you do a monologue with no script and no nothing for exactly 9 minutes and 15 seconds? Because we have no time to edit it. And I said, yeah, man. I said, no problem at all. So I hope you saw it. We hit it at exactly 9 minutes and 15 seconds, which wasn't hard to do because I cared so much about the topic. Honestly, I could have won another 10 minutes. And you can tell we didn't edit it at all because if you go back and listen, if you go to the Twitter or Instagram or Facebook at Unfiltered page and you listen to the clip where I talk about my monologue in the Memphis, the police incident in Memphis with Mr. Nichol, you'll see at the end I trip over one of the words twice. I just was really caught up in the moment. I tripped over it twice and just hadn't been on edit at all. I said, just leave it. Let's just roll it. But it was a really tough thing to watch, and I'm glad to see of this unquestionably excessive use of force. I just want to talk about this for a little bit because I was there and I did this, and I think in this space to our partisan camps right away. The left is obviously going to cry racism about anything and not try to actually address the problem about what happened with this use of force incident. But some of us can do that too, and I think we do it as a counter-reaction. And I think it's a mistake. I saw a couple of people, some friends of mine, tweeting about, well, if the guy wouldn't have resisted arrest, none of this would have happened. And nah, man. Nah, that's no good. That's no good. That's not the problem here, okay? It was interesting because some of the same people I saw commenting on that were some of the same people when police officers overreacted with the COVID lockdowns were the first ones to, say, oh, look what the police did. But, they killed a guy. Whether they'll be convicted of murder, they are presumed innocent, of course, like anyone else, and they will see a jury of their peers, and they will see actual justice, unlike they gave to this gentleman, Mr. Nichols, who they delivered street justice to. But he's dead. There's no dispute. It's not an allegation. He's actually dead. Whether it was a legal murder or not, they will be, again, judged by a jury of their peers. But, folks, that's not the takeaway. Yeah, okay, obviously, it's a good idea to resist arrest. But what was Mr. Nichols resisting exactly? Did you watch what I watched? Again, I'm not lecturing anyone. The 99.999%, if not more, of emails, Facebook, texts I got from friends who are conservatives, police officers, and activists were terrified. They were white hot with rage of what happened to this young man, because they care about liberty and freedom for everyone. But I'm not going to spin your wheels. There were a few who suggest that I reevaluate my position and focus on the guy resisting arrest. And I responded back and said, what command exactly was he resisting? Because at the last check, and I tried to get anywhere from 50 to 70 different commands, some of them completely contradictory. Stand up, sit down, do this. I mean, what command was he supposed to respond to? To get down on your knees, to put your hands behind your back, give us your hands, or to stand up, or which? I don't understand which one he was supposed to respond to. Now, I'm not going to play the audio from the video because it's been played enough. I've seen it, and I find that a lot of these outlets do this at this point just to be, inflammatory. Like, so I'm not really interested in any of that. And I'm not interested in being the controversy guy. Oh, look, say something controversial. People click. I don't really. I think we probably established bona fides with each other at this point. And I don't care about that. Folks have said it. Inappropriate. Listen, are you ready? I did this. Been involved in multiple foot pursuits, vehicle pursuits. Can't even count how many traffic stops. When you encounter a subject and there's any kind of, I'm not even talking about who starts it. That's irrelevant for what I'm about to say. It's not irrelevant for what happens. It's irrelevant for what I'm about to say. No matter who starts it. The suspect, the cop, no matter who starts it. When those handcuffs are on, or there's any meaningful resistance, stop. That fight is over. It's not your fight anymore. It is over. It is over. There is absolutely zero excuse in a constitutional republic. Mr. Nichols was to be pulled over for an infraction by the way of reckless driving. We don't even know what that means. What does it mean? I guess did he make a right on red? Was he doing 100 and a 20? I mean, reckless driving could mean anything. Did he not signal when he crossed a solid white line? Or I don't know. But for someone to get yanked out of a car for reckless driving, there's with zero the situation whatsoever. There is no license and registration. You know why we pulled you over? There's none of that. Says to me there's a story here that we all don't know yet. And they're to be very careful pinning this on, maybe you shouldn't have resisted. No, I'm not. Folks, listen, unlike your humble correspondent here, unlike a lot of other people who, just dying to be on TV and jumped out the second they said, let me tell you what I think. It was a training thing. Okay, I didn't do that. I don't know if not on any television stations and made no commentary about this at all. Not on Twitter, not on Facebook. Why? Oh my gosh, man, you missed the boat. You're news. No, I didn't miss the boat. You know what the boat is? The boat is actually looking at the material, going over it, getting as much of the backstory as you can, watching the video, seeing multiple angles of it, and then offering some kind of opinion based on the actual facts and reality, what happened on the ground. I waited till the next day. My first comments about it were on Fox and Friends, and later on my. And I get tired of the canned talking points from people who frankly have no freaking idea what they're talking about. Oh, we need better training. We do? Now again, let me just establish bona fides so I don't waste your time. I've been through the New York Police Academy twice. Would you fail the first one? No, I went in through the cadet program where you go through the police academy, and I went into the police academy, the probationary police officer. It's two separate programs. I went through the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center in Glynn County, Georgia. I went back and did a temp assignment to teach there. Mill Road, Prince George's County, Maryland. I went back there as an instructor for 3 years. So I think also I've done about 20 years of self-defense training, a lot of it focused on law enforcement stuff. So I think if I kind of earn the right to comment, I think I'll throw my opinion out there with the morass of people saying, it's a training problem. It is, really? How? Explain that to me, how it's a training problem. So you're telling me there's a training program for 5 police officers to grab a 150, 160-pound guy, put him on the ground and soccer kick him to the head while never even identifying who he is? Well, where'd they... Can I get that citation in the manual? Section 22, soccer kick subject in the head as you rip him out of the car. I never saw that one. I never saw that page. And I can tell you, in neither the NYPD cadet police officer, a Glynn County Federal Law Enforcement Training Center program, nor in the Secret Service training program is that included anywhere on the use of force continuum. Yank out of car, soccer kick. No, that's not in there. That's not in there. That's not even allowed, by the way. A soccer kick is when you kick someone who is not standing on their 2 feet. They're either on the ground. Why would we not do that? Well, for the small reason you'll probably kill them. That's got something to do with it. Or paralyze them or worse. So the training thing, the reason I don't want anyone else to fall into that one, along with the resisting arrest canard. No, folks, we're not doing that. We're really not doing that. I'm not doing it. You want to go down that path, then I'm sorry, but no, not today. We are the constitutionalists. We are the conservatives. We are the libertarians. Defending every single citizen's right to petition their government, to assemble, to speak out, to bear arms, and most importantly, to live. That is our job. That is our job. That is our job. The training thing is a total canard. Here's what's going on with the training thing. A bunch of left-wing grifters would love nothing more than to infiltrate police academies and start instituting training programs where they're the ones dictating the use of force continuum. They're the ones teaching the social justice warrior stuff. That's why. There's a grift in this. This is a money-making operation. It is not about training. Nobody was trained to do that. How the hell could it be about training? Okay, Dan, fair enough. Smart ass, so what is it? Yeah, you're right. It's not training. Personnel problem, folks. You ask any police officer around the country, in any busy police department that needs cops. The left is crapping all over police officers for the last probably 5 years. And even worse after the Floyd incident. No one wants to become a cop anymore. They've had to lower standards, and they've had to put people in there who have no business bearing the badge. And if you dare make a racial thing out of this, you can plant a big wet kiss on my ass. You have no idea what you're talking about. You're not even remotely interested in solving the problem. We need good, high-quality, decent people, and thankfully, and thank you to the men and women in blue, and my condolences to the family of Mr. Nichols Butler. Should have opened with that. Thank you to the good people out there doing a good job, and most of you are. Some of you are. Us in the application process, in the hiring process, to get the best of the best and put the badge on their chest, on their waist. They can take your life and your freedom. They should be the best of us, not the worst of us. And these 5 guys. Be right back. Dan Bongino here for Lone Star Transfer. Many timeshare owners are upset that their yearly dues continue to increase. With an A+ rating at the BBB and over 900 5-star testimonials, Lone Star Transfer is the only company you can trust, guaranteeing the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and at a specific time frame. My friends have helped over 18,000 owners legally and permanently get out. Start the new year off right with free, no obligation consultation at 844-284-4864 or at LoneStarTransfer.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Dan Bongino. You're listening to the Dan Bongino Show on the Bay Area's home for conservative talk on your radio and smart speaker at 560 KSFO.
Balance of Nature is fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I'm in the medical field, and I think when you start out these things, everything from the advertising for it to work. It's working. Anyway, I'm happy.
Balance of Nature has made a big difference. It's just one of the greatest products, and it's just so simple, and it works.
Balance of Nature is a fantastic product. You can tell it's real. You can taste it. And it gives you really good energy, and it's just right up there with rent, electric cable, like things that you have to have. I'm not cutting Balance of Nature. No, I love it.
Start your journey to better health with Balance of Nature right now. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com for more information or to place your order. Shipping is always free. And don't forget to get 35% off your first order as a preferred customer by using discount code KSFO.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated.